Yes. Hi, everybody. Welcome
Hey.
to
Hello.
Noon Sport number 6. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Hossein, Roberta, and Cynthia, my co-hosts. Very happy to be here with you every day today. So,
Thank you for
how are you
having
doing,
us.
Cynthia? Oh, I think you're
I
on
think you
mute
are
at this
muted.
time.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
I'm
Hello.
able to hear you now.
Perfect. I'm
Yes,
very good here, enjoying. And how are you all, guys?
Doing
good.
great.
Good,
Thank you
good.
very much.
How's
Yes,
everybody doing?
that will be a fantastic day. So again, Noon Spark, it is to having fun, talk about AI, and you know what? It's just any question that you have, you can put it on the chat bot, and it is to make sure that we're able to raise. And this is what the AI Entrepreneur Alliance it is to make sure that we're able to let a little bit more space for other company to be able to experiment themselves and be able to showcase the new AI tools. So this is it. So let's start with Hossein, co-founder of Smart Plan. So yes, I'm very happy to have you. If you're able to introduce yourself and tell me what are you doing and what is your company exactly?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for having me. So my name is Hossein, and I'm the co-founder of Smart Plant. In the Smart Plant, we provide the services to the manufacturing companies in order to monitor their major equipments and also predict any type of anomalies in the production line before it happens. So we kind of help them to prevent waste of budget and also waste of the money during the production.
Nice. Thank you very
Great.
much, Hossein.
Thank you.
And here we're not having just one, but two brilliant minds together. So we're going to present Robert Katz. Welcome.
Hey.
So talk about a little bit about yourself. You're the co-founder of Epistemic and chief product architect of Shurigen. So talk about it.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you, Sebastian and Cynthia, for giving space for me to join and just share knowledge around AI and stuff. I really think we're on the precipice of super intelligence and a new apex predator with AI. And I think just learning and building together is what I'm all about. I don't think anybody knows everything. Like you can't. There's so much changing. So I really appreciate the opportunity, first of all. So yeah, my name is Robert Ta, co-founder and CEO of Epistemic. We're trying to build the hyper-personalization layer of the future. You could think of it as human context protocol. If anybody's heard of model context protocol, that's how do you optimize for context window from a machine standpoint for human user experiences. And the way I think about it is the next evolution of evals goes to user-centric and belief-centric evals. And we need alignment and context engineering optimization on the system's interpretability of the human, what makes us human. And so I can get into that more, but very passionate about this topic. Love AI and appreciate being here.
And we'll explore how complex challenges can be simplified and how technology can truly understand both people and environments. So go ahead, Sebastian. I don't know if you had some questions
Yes.
to start with.
Yes, thank you very much. So let's start with Hossein first. So where's it coming from? What is the idea to start the smart plant? And if you're able again to explain a little bit more in details, how you, if we want to connect with you and you want to have more details, how we can be able to reach you.
Yeah, great. That's a great question. So the idea comes from maybe 20 years ago when I started working in different industries. And at that time, when I go to different facilities, I've noticed that they like the sensor data on the paper and then record it somewhere in the files. And at that time, I was like, how we can kind of profit from these logs, how we can use this huge amount of data that we gather in order to predict the behavior of the sensors and equipments and the maintenance of the whole facility. But without the AI, the process was very time consuming, and also it needs a huge amount of budget, which normally none of the facilities can afford. So I had this in the back of my mind, and then when the AI era starts, we noticed this issue again in the industry, and then after knowing with Nima and having some discussion about this issue, we come to a solution to use the power of AI for processing the huge amount of data, and also with benefiting from the IoT devices. We come up with this solution that combining these two in order to kind of allow the data that we gather from the sensors, which normally is very valuable, in order to process it in the backend and then detect some type of anomalies that may happen, suggest the maintenance of the equipment in advance to the facilities. So it's a very huge history behind, but it gets more serious in the AI period.
Wow, thank you very much. I love it. I love
And I
it.
just want to remind the people that if you have questions for Hossein, for Robert, you can just put it in the chat and we'll be able to ask them those questions too. So they'll be glad to do it. And about Robert, maybe what drew you to focus on making AI more aligned with people's needs and values?
Yeah, well, I guess the hot take is like, I want to have kids someday and be confident that we're all not going to die. So that's the hot take. And I'd like to work on that problem. I actually see a non-0% chance of existential risk to humanity. I think as builders of the future, it's actually the most important thing to work on. Not only that, think about this use case. Anybody ever go ChatGPT and you type some stuff and they're like, oh, I got to go to Perplexity to like get information and get sourcing. Anybody ever do that? Like drop something in chat drop yes if you do that. And then you have to copy paste all the context. You have to retell Perplexity, oh, this is all the stuff that ChatGPT told me. This is what I was trying to do. Isn't that really annoying? Like that's so annoying. So think about the kids today that grow up with this. Are they going to be okay with that? No. And so why does an AI treat you like a stranger? Why have we not solved that? That's what I'm looking to solve is you go to ChatGPT, you talk to it, then you go to Perplexity, it has full context of you. That's what I mean by like human context protocol. And an example there is, and this, so I answered from a moral ethics and, I don't want us to die. That's like number one. Number two, just as a product person and designer and builder, I just see it's ripe for opportunity for a personalization layer. It seems very obvious to me. Think about this. Anybody ever like go to somebody's car and they ask you to DJ on the Bluetooth or whatever, right? So you don't have to go download Mazda Bluetooth, Toyota Bluetooth, Ford Bluetooth. You just go connect to Bluetooth. It's a universal standard. So just like I go to ChatGPT, I have to re-explain my entire context. Then I go to Perplexity, re-explain my entire context. Why are we doing that? That's just incredibly silly. So that's what I mean by human context protocol.
You like to connect everything. So when we work on something, we already know. ChatGPT knows, Perplexity knows, everything knows.
Yes, and my point of view here is that is a user experience problem. Nobody likes that experience. And then after that, it's so past the productivity problem, because building any products, AI products, any products, your whole goal is time to value. Let me get value in every interaction. And so, yes, the personalization layer where AI remembers you, I don't have to re-explain myself. I carry my context with me. That's what I call the vision of human context protocol that I'm looking to build out. But furthermore, I'm saying that that problem and that solution is tied to AI alignment. So let me explain that. It ties to AI alignment because how can AI understand us if we don't fully understand ourselves, right? Like our model of our own understanding of ourselves is evolving over time as we do things. Like, for example, I've been to a lot of therapy. I've had limiting beliefs, as many people do. They have limiting beliefs. Especially as entrepreneurs, lots of imposter syndrome, right? Like you go through these cycles of figuring out, oh shit, I thought I knew marketing. Oh wait, no, okay, I don't. And then it's like, oh, I got to do sales. Oh, I got to do product. You got to do everything. And so you go through these cycles and you have limiting beliefs. And as entrepreneurs, you got to shed those. So I think about that a lot. And so everybody's evolving their understanding of themselves. Everybody's belief systems, which I can get into, deeper level, that's evolving all the time. So then you have this problem of model drift. how can I ensure an AI is fully aligned to me if my model at an n=1 level for 8 billion people is drifting over time? Who's building the representation of self that encapsulates that need? That's what we're doing. And I think it's the most pressing problem in humanity.
I like it. And I think that the AI, as you say, they will be able to combine and make sure that, for example, they know you. They know exactly your feeling. They know how you act. What is your trend? And I think that the AI will be very customized of everybody. And I think that this is where we're going to have like maybe a personal agent and make sure that on the future they know exactly how we can act and how we can behave. And this is, I think, that the next level. And this is awesome what you're doing right now, Robert.
Could I add something?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, for sure. This is
so on that. Yeah, so on that, if anybody's heard of epistemic emotions, so in what I call personalization sensitive spaces, as defined by how emotional a user would get in those spaces. So mental health, longevity, personal finance, education, like Sébastien had an education use case, like it's an emotional thing, your learning or your finance or your mental health or your health, right? Like diet's an emotional thing, sleep's an emotional thing, exercise is an emotional thing. Epistemic emotions, when you talk to mental health professionals like psychiatrists, behavioral therapists, they'll talk about epistemic emotions like curiosity, confusion, surprise, wonder, doubt. And the question is, when your AI is interfacing with a user, can it detect those epistemic emotions and leverage that for context towards, if they're curious, if we detect they're curious, then they're in exploratory mode. If we detect they're confused, then maybe our AI should personalize a response that bridges that gap in understanding. If we detect that they're surprised, then maybe we see that there's a mismatch with their expectations, and that's at an n=1 level. So that's a level deeper into it, that's where I really see, like, we have to combine cross-disciplinary domains like neuroscience, philosophies, psychology, behavioral science to really understand and model the human. Anyway, yeah.
I love it. And when I was working with also Breeze for the learning tools, this is something that I work and I did because by having the AI tools with students, make sure that when you're doing something and you see like the student moving and they're not interested anymore, can you have like a pause? Can we have something else? Can we have like a break, or can change maybe question? So this is, I think, how the AI will be able to adapt, as you say, about how we're feeling, and the way that we're able to adapt about, oh, you look stressed, or you look bored or tired. So they will be able to very analyze our feeling, or we hack, and with that, be able to move and adapt the next step here. I have a question right now for Hossein. So in simple terms, how you are able with your sensor to put it in the factories? So how you are able to analyze stuff and be able to extract data? So if you're able
Great
to
question.
explain to me what is you're able to do with all this data?
Yep. Great question. Thank you for asking. So basically, what we normally do is that we have some sensors in the manufacturing plants for detecting the behavior of the equipment. The sensors could be the temperature sensor, pressure, or humidity, depending to the type of the equipment that we have. And with the IoT, basically what we do is we gather the information from the sensors via different protocols. And then normally each facility may have different approach, but in general, if I want to say that this in the simple word, we receive the data from the sensors, collect the information in the in a storage place like a cloud or somewhere else, and then we have the processing unit that process the data after. And yeah, that's how it works. So getting the signals, storing it somewhere, preferably in the cloud, and then having a processing unit to process all the information that receive. And with the during the period of time after having enough information from the equipments, it will allow us to start having a better understanding about the behavior of the equipment, if it behaves properly, And if something happens which is abnormal based on the previous behavior, we can inform the users based on that.
And with so many information and connected devices, how do you keep everything, let's say, secure without slowing down the work or the
Great
efficiency?
question. So we have different layers for security. The first part is the communication between the sensors to the gateway or to the cloud, which normally with the protocols like MQTTS, it's pretty much similar with HTTPS that kind of allow us to securely transfer the data from the sensors to the cloud. This is one part. And regarding the huge amount of data, normally there are different approach. The very initial approach is that we have some gateways inside the each production line that will gather the raw information from the sensors, do the preliminary processing, and then pass the process data to the next step. In very huge facilities like the wind farms or the petrochemical plants, etc. In these areas, we normally do the processing in different layers. So we have a gateway that will process different sensors locally, and then the process data will pass to the next node, which normally call it the FIG node. And in this area, we get the process data from the gateways, process it again, make it smaller, and pass it to the final processing unit.
Great.
Nice.
And
That's awesome.
yeah.
I'm having always a session during the session. I put in like this superhero. So this is the time that everybody will turn in superhero. So I was able to turn myself in Batman today. So I'm a super.
Oh,
If
great.
meanwhile you have questions,
There we go. So ready to solve every problem in AI. So I have here Cynthia as a Wonder Woman again. Awesome. Always asking question again everywhere in the space. I have here Hossein as a Wolverine. You see, so it's been changed. A lot of muscle, Hossein.
Like it.
And finally, I have Robert with is the Spider-Man. So there we go. So we have the Spider-Man Robert there. So today we're superhero by helping the AI and again making sure that everybody and all the company are able to advance and make sure that we're able to know AI better and we're able to be out there and make sure that we're able to connect with people. So I have a question right now with Robert about how we can make sure that AI are not too much intrusive in our life. How we can make sure that again we are able to use AI, but at some point again we can turn it off when we're sure that okay they are maybe too much analyzing us and make sure that we are not too much into the AI with this data.
Yeah. So to clarify, do you mean like as an individual in the AI world and in this era of birthing super intelligence, how do we maintain agency? Like, is that?
Yeah. So my question is mostly is like, okay, so you know how many data that they're able to collect, and as we spoke previously about how the feeding, so they are able to analyze how we act, how we are able to have sentiment. So I'm wondering how the AI can align and make sure that we are able to have a safe space in the AI, that we're able to again make sure that at some point they are not taking over.
Yeah. So I guess I'll respond to that from the perspective of a builder of AI tools and apps of how do I ensure that my users maintain and maximize agency as they use my tools. I can't speak for other AI builders like ChatGPT, for example. I think I've seen, they just brought back the 4.0 model, which was guaranteed to drive sycophancy, right? So it's like a yes man, kind of makes you feel good. And people want that. And that really speaks to a bigger human problem, which is a lot of people out there in the world don't have somebody that's just their full-time cheerleader. So they crave that. And that's a very human thing to want that, to support, right? And people are looking to companions, AI companions. It's a 30 plus, 40 plus $billion growing industry. Last I checked, character AI, janitor AI. And all of those apps, they're just dopamine drips for people to get addicted. And it's honestly like, I think builders of the future need to be intentional. And instead of just stealing people's attention, getting them addicted, you should be thinking about, how do I help you become who you want to become? How do I help you become your better self? Whether it's in the perspective of you're a salesperson using instantly AI, doing cold outbound, how do I get you to your leads? Or it's like you're using a mindfulness app that helps detect maybe your epistemic emotions. And it's like, how do I help you get to more clarity of thoughts, right? So those are the questions that builders should be thinking about. And back to it, like, I think underlying your question is just this question of agency. And I think that's a very difficult problem to solve. But I tend to think about it like, hey, how come I can't poke open under the hood of ChatGPT or Anthropic or Claude or Perplexity and see, what does it know about me? What's the brain it's created of me? What's the model of self it's made of me? I can't say you got this right, you got this wrong. In fact, I had a tragic thing happen last year where my dog died. He was my best friend of 8 years. His name was Nibbler. I could send a picture. He's super cute. He's the best. I've grieved through this, so I feel good about it. But ChatGPT still talks to me as if he's alive. And I can't go in there and be like, can I remove this memory? Like, can you specifically stop telling me my dog is alive and he's not? Like, that's a very frustrating situation. And I don't have the agency to be like, hey, can I go pop open what's under the hood of this tool to modify what it knows about me, to co-evolve its understanding of me with me so that it gets context, but I don't know, it's a black box how it gets context. The way I design my applications is we show you exactly what we know, and you get to see what your beliefs are that we know about you with our AI. And you could be like, oh, this is wrong. This is kind of right. This is kind of wrong. This is really right. And in that way, I think as AI builders, we should be thinking with the hat of, how do we co-evolve the context with the user and not just assume context of the user, so that you get right context, right time at the point of evaluation. And that's all, that's very hard to do, which basically gets to the question of, for my given job to be done for the AI LLM application I'm building, how do I help my user see progress on their job to be done? Mindfulness app, getting clarity of thought, or sales app, getting leads. Like, you have to think about that. You can't just like not think about that. That's what builders have to do. And then you have to rigorously do error analysis. And this is the technical part that a lot of people get wrong, because LLM applications are very subjective by nature, right? So I always give this example, everybody knows 2 + 2 = 2. Every 100%, 8 billion people in the world, I hope, will say 2 + 2 = 2. Like, that's true. But you ask 8 billion people in the world, what's for dinner? All of a sudden, holy shit, like, that's hard. Like, right? Like, at home, you ask people what's for dinner. That's really hard, subjective. That's because it's an n=1 problem. And for that, I have found the solution is design principle of show them their jobs to be done. And you, as the builder, need to understand the product and the user and the ICP, the ideal customer profile. You have to understand how they're feeling in the struggling moment to switch to your application, to acquire, to retain, to engage, to refer, to get to revenue. And then furthermore, how can you maintain your evals as a better moat versus the competition? So if you're building a sales app like Instantly AI, how do you make sure your evals are better than anything else out there? If you're building a mindfulness app with AI, how do you make sure your evals are better than anything else out there? And that goes down to making your evals better, fine-tuning your prompts, versioning those. And like, that's the rigorous work that's got to be done to objectively improve subjective products like these LLM applications. So I hope that I answered that from a few vectors, which is like, maintain agency for the user, help them co-evolve the system's context with them. That's a design problem. Help them see their jobs to be done. That's a product and design problem. And then the engineering problem is, how do we objectively improve something measurably, like scientifically, that is subjective by nature? And that is an engineering problem. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you very much. And I know that AI is so huge and large that at some point, as you said, I think that fine tuning and make sure that they are able to keep data. And by saying like, okay, your cat is dead, they will keep this information, and at some point make sure that, for example, they will make sure that the next time that you asking this question, or they will be able to reply differently. And I think this is why that it's at some point we're getting in something very new in AI that is very new for everybody, but mostly will come out with a structure, make sure that everything is safe, that they're able to adapt and be interconnected, and make sure as any tools that we're using, they are able to remind us who we are and how we feel, how we hack, and this is how awesome it will be. So I think that we're going in the future by having this amazing tool. So that's awesome. So thank you very much again for all the details and what you were working on. So yes, let's try right now with Hossein, with a question that I have for you with the IoT, again, with your device that you're doing right now. So I'm wondering how you are able to make sure that the IoT systems, you're able to prevent and make sure that you're able to have data for a customer that you have right now, and make sure that you are able to prepare and make sure that everything that you've been installed, that you're able to track data to keep everything smoothly with your device. Because as you're saying right now, you may have like 1,000 or 100 of device everywhere. How are you able to make sure that everything is on order with your systems?
Good question. So basically, we have another way to track the sensors that we are supposed to receive the data from. And in this scenario, when we have thousands of sensors and one or two maybe is out of order for any reason, we have a way to track which sensors are not passing the data from. And then we can notify the users. So one is the sensor is not functioning, so it doesn't send any data to the center. And in this scenario, we just notify the users that this sensor is disconnected, or maybe has a problem and unable to send us the data. And the other one is the sensor is working, but the data is passing is not correct, so it's out of range, or for some reason the signals are not passing correctly. So for both of them, there are some ways to track the record and then pass the information to the user to kind of take care of it.
And you see AI works with IoT, right? When they work together, what kind of results do you see that wouldn't be possible otherwise because of that strain of them together, working together?
Yeah. Great question. So yeah, this combination of AI and IoT provide a very huge amount of possibilities for the facilities. Before, as I said, they just like the information in the paper, so you have a huge amount of data for the past behavior of the sensors, but nobody was able to use this valuable data. And with the combination of IoT, which allows us to pass the information in digital format to a processing unit instead of writing them on the paper, and AI, which give us a very huge amount of processing for large amount of data, and then give us the tangible outcome from this data. It allows the facilities to monitor their production lines very effectively, and also it will allow them to predict the time that they need to do the maintenance on their facilities. And in addition, this valuable data will help the facilities to prevent loss of the raw material during this the time that the anomalies happens. So imagine that you have a production line and the main processing unit is in failure. So you still have the raw material in the line, and because of this failure in the main equipment of the line, you need to put away all the raw material. And the AI solution, the services with the combination of IoT and AI prevent this and it make the facilities become more environmental friendly.
Nice. Thank you very much, Hossein, for all the details. Thank you very much, also, Roberta. So yeah, it's already noon 30. Wow, it's passing so quick.
Yeah.
The half of the question that didn't been asked, just to tell you how great it is and how everything was passed so quick. So thank you very much for this time. We will have the next webinar that will be the 7th. So on the webinar number 7, yeah, it will be hosted on September 10th. So get ready for the next one. And Cynthia, thank you very much to be with me always as a host. Thank you very much. Very awesome. Any last word that you wanted to say? Maybe Hossein, Cynthia, and Robert, if wanted to contact you, anything that we wanted to finalize with the last word?
Yeah, your last sentence or word, or where they can find you if they want to work with you guys.
Yeah. So I will go first. So my perspective is that with the power of AI, and recently with this huge amount of progress in the AI industry, I can see that the more we have progress in AI, we will have more ability to focus on creativity than the regular repetitive work that we did before. And it's very good. I'm really happy to have to live in this era.
Thank you very much, Hossein.
Yeah, I'll end with so my project's completely open source. Happy to collaborate with other builders of the future on what I talked about. I've also learned a lot about how do you objectively improve subjective products, and I freely share that information on all my socials because I believe in building a better future together, and I don't want to gatekeep knowledge. I actually have a whole deck with like 50 slides on like what does it take to actually go make your AI better. If people want that, like you could add a comment or chat or whatever. I'm happy to DM that deck to you. Or I'm not familiar with the tool. I could like even drop the link in chat, but people have found that very, very effective. It's like a field guide for building more effective LLM applications. Might be useful.
Send it to, we'll be able to send it back to me, and I'll be able to reshare on LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. Yeah, so perfect. Thank you very much. So I'm going to copy paste here and put it on the chat here.
Great.
Perfect. Awesome. And I will be able to reshare on the other social network. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks a lot for having me.
Yes. Thank you very much for everyone. And it was great. Thank you very much to be here with us today.